Today we're here with 5-0 fighter Bailey King with Peak Fighting, and we're going to be doing a little interview today. I got nothing much else to say, so let's just get right down to it. How did you first get into MMA?
That's a really good question. I think it was a lot of things at one time. I think it was high school coming to an end. I think it was the insurmountable responsibility that I needed to do something with my life. And just kind of like a very deep wanting to kind of like be important. And I think all those things coming together. I remember I was watching Khabib versus Conor, and then I was just in the garage watching that fight, and I was like, I had made up my mind. I was like, that's it. That's what it is I'm going to do. Like, that's what I'm doing with my life now. And ever since then, I legit got a job, started training, and just hit the ground running ever since.
That's sick. Did you do kickboxing or boxing beforehand, or did you go straight into MMA?
Straight into MMA. I did it a little bit in middle school, but I kind of just thought I knew better at the time and wanted to play video games instead. So,
that's fair.
You know how it is. And so I quit that. And then it wasn't until years later. I didn't start training again until I was a junior in high school.
So, next question is, you always seem to be enjoying yourself whenever you're in the cage and any of your fights. I see you always smiling during the exchanges, and you tickled that one guy's foot at the end of a round, which was pretty fucking funny. Do you find yourself nervous before you're walking out, or are you just fully excited to get out there? Just kind of walk me through that process of what it's like going out to the cage.
Certainly in the back, your nerves are a little heightened, and you're just in the zone a little bit more. But for me, there's kind of like that barrier where as soon as I walk out and everyone can see me, like all of that is just gone, and I am entirely present in the moment. I'm not thinking about anything other than kind of like doing my job and putting on a great performance, and I can pretty much count on myself in that moment to like not be nervous. So like I could be nervous tonight, I could be nervous before I walk out, but I know myself that when I do make that walk, like I'm gonna be good, like, and I'll be good. And when I walk into the cage, I'll be good.
Yeah, it's very obvious to see that once you get in there, you're really confident in there, and there's no nerves holding you back or anything. Now, we'll move on to a bit about your opponent, Mark Hussey. Are you prepared for / expecting an immediate takedown? Because I haven't seen any of his previous fights, but I've seen some descriptions, and I think he's pretty known for shooting for takedowns. Plus, I think your last two fights have started with you getting an immediate takedown shot on you.
Yep. So, same thing. I haven't really been able to see anything on him, but because of that, that leaves him to my imagination, and sometimes my imagination is not on my team, and so I've trained very hard, just in preparation for what this guy could be in my head. But I have faced way more dangerous people. On a week's notice, I accepted a fight against a Russian from Kyrgyzstan, and he wrestled on their national team, and he had won MMA Grand Prix and stuff like that. Like he was a far more dangerous opponent than this guy, and I still went in there, did just fine, made him quit, and then before that, I fought another wrestler. I've pretty much been fighting wrestlers my entire career, so there's not a chance that this guy can really show me anything that I haven't seen already before.
Yeah, won't be anything new. We've seen you have some success on the ground before. You got a rear naked choke win against Dallas Dodd, and you got a pretty good reversal in a scramble that led to really good ground and pound against Arakbiev. I think that's how you say his name. Yep. You have any plans to take the fight there yourself, or are you going to try and keep it a bit more standing for the most part?
My fundamentals are standing, but if an opportunity presents itself, I think it would be super cool to show off what I'm able to do on the ground. I don't think a lot of people are kind of like aware of my ground abilities. I mean, I'm not some freaking jiu-jitsu wizard by any means, you know what I mean? But I think people would be really surprised, and I would like to surprise people this fight if the opportunity presents itself.
Have you been doing anything different in this camp, either in general or specifically for this opponent?
My strength and conditioning routine was a lot different this fight camp. I was lifting a lot more weights, and you might not think that like translates to cardio, but I feel like I have a lot better cardio because I've been lifting weights, because I can stay strong. So I think that's a really big difference this fight camp. But other than that, my preparation has been pretty much the same. Train hard, work out hard, you know, just do not really lots of miles, but probably training or working out 2 times a day, you know. So
yeah.
Just a lot of volume.
Well, that kind somewhat answers my next question. I was going to say that we're yet to see you able to go the distance yet because you just keep taking people out. So are you preparing for this fight to end quickly too, or do you think this one's going to come down to a decision, considering Mark Hussey has several decision wins on his record and his more grappling-based approach to things, I would guess?
I think preparing to end a fight early is preparing for failure in case it doesn't end early. And so in my preparation, I'm always prepared to go 15 minutes. I'm prepared to win by decision if I need to. Now, that's not the goal. I'm not aiming to win by decision. But if he happens to be tough, you know, and can take a beating, and it needs to be 15 minutes, then I'm prepared to do so. It would be pretty naive of me to just assume I'm going to go in there, get a quick finish, and then now I've got 2 more rounds to go. So, yeah.
It's a common mistake that a lot of people who have a lot of power and finish early get. They get a little bit overconfident with this, that they can just go out and finish anyone who they want.
Yeah, well, not the case at all. I think for me, my finishes are just a matter of kind of like preparation meets opportunity.
Yeah.
And so it's not like I planned on going there and doing that. I kind of did.
What's your cardio routine inside of camp like?
I'll do like long distance once a week and hard sprints twice a week.
Oh.
But then I'll train every day. I train every day. And if I don't, it's super. Or if it's not hard, then it's just a super light, just moving session. But I'm training every day, and then I run long distance maybe once a week, sprints twice a week. But it complements my training. I have my strength and conditioning to complement my ability to push myself when I train, because like we're not gonna go in there and hop on a wind bike, you know. We're going in there to fight. So
for sure. Next one is obviously your flying knee KO of Harrison Lane won the 2023 Peak Fighting KO of the Year, and that's actually how we first found out about you. Now, Mark Hussey is making his pro debut, and correct me if I'm wrong, but in most amateur leagues, knees are illegal, right?
To the face.
Yeah, to the face, sorry. Yeah, so do you expect to be able to use his knee to adjust to these like new weapons to help you? And things like the 5-minute rounds as opposed to 3, and the knees and elbows.
There's a couple things I think he is gonna kind of have a rude awakening to. A couple adjustments. In New Mexico, the amateurs fight with shin guards.
Oh shit!
I kick pretty damn hard, so that's gonna be new to him. They're not allowed to elbow each other. I elbow. Knees to the face are gonna be new to him. And so I think just overall the how long the rounds are, the no shin guards for him, the elbows that are legal. I honestly, I don't know. Well, taking this fight was a good idea. Really, that's how I feel. There's just so many things working against him here, but good on him for accepting. It's not easy.
Yeah. So I didn't even know this about you until I looked it up and started really looking into you. You're super tall for welterweight. You're 6'4", 6'5"?
6'5", yeah.
That's crazy. And you got
I
a
walk
7.
around heavy too.
Say that again?
And I walk around heavy too.
Yeah, I seen in one of your fights there, the commentary team said that you walked in at 200 pounds or 197 or something like that.
I was 197 the night I went to bed after weighing in at 170.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So, and you've got a 77-inch reach. Your stature allows you to use your leg kicks and your body kicks and your teep kicks to kind of keep people at distance and set up head kicks. How much of an advantage do you think that's going to be in this fight, considering Marcos, he's a bit shorter than you. He's 6 foot flat, I'm pretty sure.
It's going to be an uphill battle for him, for sure. There's nothing that he can do that I can't, and there are a lot of things that I can do that he can't. So for him, it's very much all the cards are stacked against him. Height, experience, weapons, abilities, cardio, everything is just an uphill battle for him this fight.
Yeah. Now, last question. I won't keep you for much longer. Do you have any inspirations as far as other MMA fighters when it comes to your style? Like, was there someone in specific whose style you really liked that you've used pieces of when building your own?
It's a really good question, actually, because that's something I do a lot. The person that got me into MMA that I kind of saw and made me decide I need to start training now was Adesanya, because he had started when he was 17. He has kind of the same build as I do. And we were kind of into a lot of the same things at the time. Once I kind of evolved past that and I started developing more of my own game, all the people that are close to me will tell you the person whom I kind of look up to the most striking-wise is Peter Yan. I love his just...
I wouldn't have expected that.
gnarly, heavy boxing style that just like floors people. Because if you watch me in a fight, we both kind of share the same degree of aggressiveness, and I think he's able to capture that in his style, and so I wanted to take from that and use in my style. Peter Yan is big. Pereira is big for me. I love watching how he kicks and stuff like that. I try to adapt to a lot of his kicks. Peter Yan, his boxing. Alex Pereira, his kicks. And for my wrestling, who do I really look up to for my wrestling? I would say, honestly, like, I'm no Russian. I didn't grow up wrestling, but like, if you're gonna try and at least be the best,
At least, yeah, try to be the best.
So, just watching his very aggressive wrestling style, like, he doesn't just like wrestle and like get positioned, like he is actively like squeezing you and mauling you the whole time. And so I try and capture that when I wrestle and grapple.
Alright, well, thank you very much for doing this interview. I'm really looking forward to your fight on the 20th, and I will be there rooting for you watching the pay-per-view.
Awesome, thank you, man. Thank you for having me on.
Alright, thanks a bunch, man. Hello, thanks for watching my first interview. I just wanted to throw this bit in the end here to say a couple things. One, I'm sorry for the audio. That was my fault when I was recording it, but the next one will be better. And two, go watch Bailey fight this weekend, April 20th at peakfighting.com on PFC 35. You can use his code KING when buying the pay-per-view to get a discount, and the pay-per-view is only like $30 or something. It's going to be good, so make sure you're there. All right, thanks, guys.